Someone else after a short opening statement.
Yeah, well, it's good to be back in the gym. Did you say short?
I said
It's good to be back in the gym, and yes, the first few weeks of September you're in the gym, but you're in for such a small period of time that, by the time you go from a Thursday workout, which is a little over an hour, usually to a following Tuesday workout, which is again a little over an hour, the retention is so little, and you just feel like you really haven't gotten to your younger players, and so so it's good to be back in the gym a little bit more full time because hopefully you'll be able to see more carryover and retention and progress, and not that you don't see any of that, but you'd hope you start seeing a lot more of that now that you're able to go 5 times-ish a week.
What's the message to the younger players to try to just get them up to speed, especially considering the finish this program's had the last couple of years?
Well, the message has just kind of been to our staff more so, just to make sure that we're coaching them probably even more than we're coaching our returners. Just make sure that we're not leaving opportunities to get them up to speed, and then having your upperclassmen help you. Yesterday at some point I said, "Oh, listen, we got to listen to, upperclassmen. You got to be even more talkative to these guys." And so I think that's the message is you got to give them a lot of feedback without overloading them. I mean, because that's the other part is like if they've got a lot of people saying this different things at different times, that can be kind of overwhelming. So so it's a little bit of a process, but we really only have one newbie. I mean, Lexi Unruh has not been able to play the last 2 years, but she's been in practice, so she kind of knows what's going on. And then Brittany Harshaw was a redshirt last year, so she too kind of knows what's going on. So really, Michaela Miller's kind of the only one who doesn't, everything's new to her. So I think it helps when you're not trying to integrate 3, 4, 5, 6 kids.
Is it a luxury when you have that much continuity going in that there's just not that much of a burden of a workload for you as other years?
Yeah, I feel like with any team you kind of vacillate between, are we going too fast, are we going fast enough? And with this team you kind of set the bar a little bit higher as far as, okay, this is as slow as we're going to go, what's the fastest we can go? So like I said, the basement's a little bit higher because Michaela and Brittany and Lexi have to start there kind of, and then you're kind of exploring, okay, how quickly can we move that basement up? But the basement is a lot higher in terms of, because we have so many returners, the expectations are greater than they've been, kind of just for what the overall product looks like. That being said, the first day was really sloppy. I was like, ooh. It was a very typical first practice, and then I thought yesterday we were, there was still a lot to do, but I thought there was better ability to focus because you're practicing longer too. That's the other part is like we went from, we still don't practice that long, but we're probably another half hour on top of what we were doing in the preseason. So just that focus of the extra 30, 35 minutes that practice is now.
You mentioned expectations. Do you guys as a unit talk about high expectations on this team this year at all? How do you address it?
I haven't yet. I mean, we will do that, and I think it's always tricky because we're still 6 weeks almost from playing a game, so you kind of want them to dive in and get going, and because I think if you look too far in the future, you're not taking advantage of the fact that it is. Hey, how can we get better this first week? And then, I think to me that's more of a mid-October, even almost late October. Those are conversations when they can see where we need to be a little. It's a little bit more in front of them than as far down the road. It just it is still September and we don't play till November.
Any of the upperclassmen that have surprised you and how they've taken a leadership role or some of the growth they've shown over the summer?
I think Lauren's voice has gotten stronger, and I think I mean she's the only transfer on our team, so in some ways, her first year she was a little bit of an outsider, and then last year she made a jump, and she kind of naturally is maybe our most steady kid in terms of just, she can get frustrated with herself, but she doesn't get overly frustrated with her own performance, so she's able to kind of get outside of herself. So I feel like that's maybe been good, and now that she's, it's her third year in the program, I feel like she's kind of been that person but we've got a lot of people who can help us in that regard because we've got six of them in that class.
Any further questions? Or is this going to be the first time ever that Matt has listened to me? Because that's 12 years.
Come on, Matt. I got to have something.
Right now by listening.
I told Glenn I had till 1:50.
How do you feel about the Brewers winning the division?
I'm disappointed.
I'm Yankees, so
Disappointed, right? I mean,
falling apart.
Cubs got to be able to catch a fly ball, I guess, right?
Can't hold 6
It's 5-0, 6-0, yeah.
Yeah. That joke didn't last very long, did it?
No, it didn't. I mean, it's baseball's crazy. You can go from winning 6 in a row to losing 6. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's September 27th. It's all right. We're good.
All right. Anything else for Flan?
Also, the Hall of Fame class
Yeah.
was announced. Did you have
Yeah.
anything that you wanted to say? Obviously, Marissa.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that because, Marcus had come sometime in the summer and had conversations with me about her and whether, her worthiness. And I think the only question was, had she been out long enough? And as I get older, I can't remember how long people have been out. I knew she was recent enough, but, and then the other part is she's actually going to have her first kid here, first child here in the next week. I think October 2nd is, if they haven't had it before that. So, just to get her up here a month later is probably going to be a little bit tricky, but she seems super excited, and Marcus allowed me to be in on the phone call, so we called her together, and so that was neat to be a part of that because she was a real special player, and just, as we transitioned into the Big East, she gave us kind of instant credibility with what she did, both on the court and, I think she was respected kind of universally across the league, and so I think she laid a great foundation for what we had hoped to be in the Big East, and so she's a big part of that.
You mentioned that phone call. I mean, what was that like, and was she surprised, or was she aware ahead? Did she know it was coming? Or?
No, I don't think she had any idea, and I think the fact that the baby probably is at the top of her mind. She was probably thinking, well, is this should it be this year? And but yeah, it was neat to hear the excitement in her voice. I've actually gotten to my son is actually in Oklahoma. She's in Oklahoma City now, and my son's believe it or not, is a Thunder fan. He liked them when they were good, and he's, actually been loyal to them. So we've gotten to see her a few times driving down to Oklahoma City, and she's just super complimentary of. She's become a great ambassador of our program, even going forward, as a graduate, and so I'm really happy for her because she put in the work as a player. I mean, to get that good, you got to put in the work, and she certainly did.
All right, Flan.
Thank you, guys.